for week 1 of my goal to spend 2 continuous hours outside at least once a week for all of 2026, I headed to Birds Hill Park to explore some unofficial trails in the woods.
It's minus 13 degrees Celsius. Feels like minus 17. But we got a lot of nice, sparkly, fluffy snow last night. So I decided it's sunny. We have some pretty snow. It's time to get some outside time. So I'm up on top of Pope's Hill in Birds Hill Park. And I like the look of those pine trees. And then from there, I think I'm just going to wander out into the forest in that direction, get a little lost, and see what I can find.
There wasn't really a path on the way to those trees, so I got some good exercise trudging through the snow on the way over.
That's better.
As I wandered through the forest, wading through the snow or following someone's footprints, I spent a lot of time thinking about presence. When I was adventuring through the forest as a kid, I always found it easy to be present. I didn't really have anything to worry about, so I could just go, have fun, and enjoy the outdoors. Now, I don't find that it comes as naturally. Instead, my mind wants to wander towards my to-do list, to work, or other things in life.
So far, I've just been wading through the snow. But I found a trail, which is good, because I'm already getting kind of tired.
So while I was out there, I tried to actively practice presence. I paid attention to the things around me, and just tried to enjoy the moment. Anytime I noticed my thoughts wandering towards the future, I did my best to rein them in and observe my surroundings instead. The path that I chose to follow was very far from well-worn, so it wasn't an easy walk. But the forest was silent and still, and the snow piled on every branch just made for a picturesque winter scene. But, as usual, I am very bad at restraint and walked a bit too far.
It turns out that tromping through the snow is a lot harder as an adult, and my hip flexor has been sore for about an hour now because I followed this path on the way in, and it is not very packed down, not very well worn. This one looks a little more well worn and is heading in the general direction that I need to go. So I'm gonna follow it and hope that it leads me back to somewhere close to the car. And if it doesn't, well, today's adventure is going to be a lot longer than 2 hours. And I see a clearing up ahead. So, and I'm still headed in the right general direction. So I might be almost out of the woods. That's not the most scenic thing to walk down. I crossed this over there at some point earlier. There is no well-trod path back that way. This is entirely the wrong direction. But there's like a bucket truck tank over here. I mean, I have to check that out, right? I can't go on an adventure and ignore that. Well, that's cool. Wonder if they still use it or if they just forgot it out here one day. found some really cool mushrooms. I've never seen mushrooms like this before. I didn't want to walk in a boring straight line down the hydro lines, so I went off onto this little side path instead, which is luckily pretty well packed, so it's a lot easier walking than earlier, but I seem to have picked the twistiest and turniest path possible. I've been winding through the forest for quite a while now, still in the right vague direction, but the sun does seem to be getting pretty close to the horizon, so hopefully it leads me to a road or something kinda soon. But it is very pretty, and I've seen a lot of cool mushrooms. We are out of the woods again. Oh, in a parking lot. Neat. Both of my hip flexors at this point are very sore, but I've made it out of the woods and onto something easier to walk on. And the sunset is absolutely beautiful. I'm really glad that I decided to start doing this and that I came out here to really get lost today. It felt very nostalgic, just like what I would do as a kid, just following some little paths that are barely even paths through the forest and going wherever my curiosity leads me. And as I went, I found it easier to be present and just think about the things around me rather than things in the future or things in the past. Spent a lot of time looking at lichen and mushrooms and moss and the really cool ways that the snow gathers on the trees. And I don't think I would have gone outside today, especially not for this long, if I didn't have this goal and I wasn't thinking about it. So this was a good way to start. Auto pause stole some time from me, but I feel like that's a pretty good distance for tromping through sometimes knee-deep snow.